नमस्कार सभी को। आज के वेबिनार की जो हमारे रिसोर्स पर्सन है, एक्सपर्ट हैं, प्रोफेसर पायल बंसल फ्रॉम पूर्णिमा कॉलेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, my colleagues from regional centers Rajkot, Ahmedabad and Jodhpur, the regional directors and assistant regional directors and deputy directors at all these regional centers, my colleagues at regional center Jaipur, a hearty welcome to all of you. It's indeed a pleasure for me to welcome you, ma'am, for this webinar on innovation and creativity today. We at IGNOU, with making constant efforts for promoting and supporting the re-engineering and disseminating innovations in open and distance learning. And we have a separate center at the headquarters, National Center for Innovation in Distance Education, which is solely working in this area for our ODL learners. And they are actively promoting and supporting the innovators and entrepreneur students, the present students as well as the alumni of the university. And many of the learners are doing a lot of activities in the field of innovation, entrepreneurship, IPR, and they have also developed ideas, prototypes also, and business plans are also being launched. Number of startup ventures are also being done. And some of our students have been recognized at the national level as well by the whenever there is ideathons and startup competitions. Some of us learners have actually got laurels there also. And at the regional centers level also, we have innovation clubs, and from time to time we keep on making different activities like visit to the incubation centers or such kind of webinars, or whenever a student approaches us with an idea, we try to connect him with the national center and then guide him properly that what all is requirement and how can he further take up these ideas at, on a next level. So that is all. A hearty welcome to you once again, madam, and to my colleagues at the various regional centers. Welcome all of you. Over to you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar. Now I request to everyone present.
Please carry on.
Sir, hopefully, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Very sweet good afternoon and namaskar to everyone present here. I want to express my indeed gratitude and regards, especially Mamta ma'am, Regional Director, Kamlesh Meena sir, who gave me this opportunity to present and discuss few of my innovations and idea among all of you. So without taking much more time, and I feel extremely sorry and delay 5 to 10 minutes due to my busy schedule. Sir is continuously within touch with me. I feel extremely sorry for this delay. So without taking much more time, shall I start my presentation to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Should I share my screen? Yeah.
Yes, you can share, please.
Sir, is my screen visible to everyone?
Yet not.
Not yet.
Okay, just a minute.
Yes, now it is visible. I think there is a network issue with you, ma'am. Your picture is also blurred and the screen, it got shared and then it again was not went away.
Ma'am, just check it now only. Is
Yes,
it visible?
Now it is visible. Yes.
Yo. Hopefully, I am clearly audible to everyone with my screen also.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. So, as today is the Creativity and Innovation Day, first we all have to understand what is creativity and what is innovation. there is a very small and thin line between these two words, that is creativity and innovation. When a small child took the birth on this earth and he or she is trying to do something extra beyond his or her limits, then we usually called it as creativity. And after a certain age of studies, when we grown up with a
Madam, your
different
PPT is
kind
not
of study
visible.
level.
You are not sharing the screen, please.
Ma'am, PPT is there,
What,
but
sir?
it is not moving. PPT is not moving. First slide is there only. Now
Ma'am,
that-
I'm just discussing on the topic only. I am not changing my slide that time. Huh?
Yes, yes, now visible. Yes, yes.
I
Yes,
suppose
yes, yes.
okay, that time I was just discussing innovation only. That time I didn't change my slides. So I was telling to you what is creativity and what is innovation. When we are talking about the new innovations, they can serve to the society. How that type of innovations we can do. The innovation cannot be happen sudden or eventually. If we have such kind of mindset from the childhood, we have a very creative mind, we are trying to design something new from day-to-day life, day-to-day things, then only we can create something innovate that can serve to the society in the real senses. So today we will discuss few of the topics that is related to the theme of the today's session, that is creativity and innovation. How different type of creativity we can do, but what kind of mindsets they can stop us to thinking related to that innovation and creativity. What kind of brainstorming sessions we need for that. Some optional generations, information and evaluation processes that we will discuss later on during this upcoming 1 hour. So first, I'll start with the creativity. As I already told you, there are two words, but ultimately they are having one goal. When we are under a certain age limit and try to do something related to the beyond of the limits, that time it is known as creativity. But later on, when we are filled with a knowledge, have some basic ground information related to studies, related to the social services, related to the particular field, that time we usually called it as innovation. So what exactly creativity mean is, creativity is the ability to bring something new into being something that did not exist before. How? How we can justify this first statement? We all are born in a normal social life or normal family cultures. Initial in our childhood, probably we all have such type of toys with us. They are usually drilled with a thread only. Later on, these type of threads converted into the key toys. Later on, the key having some cells, means if we are putting some cells for the charging purpose, they are used to play some songs. And nowadays, these small toys having some sensors. So day by day, years by years, the technology will get changed, because the existing technology must be replaced with the new technology. Whatever product is currently available in the market, if we are adding something extra in that and trying to create something new, that are known as some creative product. So creativity comprises the development of entirely new system. Just for an example, a refrigerator is a normal appliance that we all may probably we have with us in our homes. But still, after 10 or 12 years, we are having this mindset that we can change our refrigerator. Why we can have this thought in our mind? Because nowadays, when technology is moving very fast, the cooling technology, the capacity of the storage, many applications are going to be changed. Same is happening with the live example of mobile phones. Initially, lot of models of Apple phones, Motorola phones, Samsung phones are in the market. But still, every month or every 15 days, in every 3 months, new models are coming into the market. how they are acquiring the market, how they can survive in the market with the help of creativity and innovation. Because any of the company, when they are launching the new projects in the market, definitely they are having something extra features. When they are having extra features, then definitely the features must can correlate the public demand, then only they can survive. Simple example, if I'll go in the shopping mall, I will try to search the applications in a mobile phone that I personally demand. So it depends on the customer demand and application. So, and creative action has to be international and must have a purpose. The creative corner must implicate or incorporate with a successful purpose. The next one is creativity and the thought process. How the creativity can come? Creativity can come only with the good mindset and the thought process. For example, if currently I'm sitting in my office, you are sitting in your office. We all are connected with the help of internet while sitting our own places. What is this? This is the technology. Few years ago, maybe some people have this thought in their minds, can we connect globally while sitting in your own places? Then the internet services, cloud platform, storage data, many complex concepts may come into the market. So when creativity will happen, creativity can be happen only with the good mindset and the good thought process. So the convergent thinking is a fixed and the structured and the logical way of thinking divided into the systematic steps. What are the systematic steps? Maybe I can think like I can design a satellite. That is my thought process, because everyone is free with their own mindsets. But the thought process must be have a systematic steps. Whatever thought process I am having, it must be realistic. It must be approachable. It must be implementable. Okay. So divergent thinking is a free and disordered and way of thinking which cannot be followed logically. If I'm talking about the predictive creativity, what is predictive creativity? If I'm trying to design something, for an example, this is a water bottle. If I'm trying to design this water bottle with a new thought, means I want to create something extra in this existing water bottle. This is productive creativity. If I will think like that, I can design a model that can not do any task. Maybe I'm able to design that task, but if that model cannot perform any of the tasks, that is not productive model for me. So when you are thinking creativity, then you must think about the productivity parallelly. What are the necessity steps that are acquiring while the process of creative? When we are talking about the creative problem solving, these are the few corners that we must accommodate with each other. First one is the problem identification. As I already told you, when we will eat. So just to discuss it in a very simple way, when we will eat the food, when you will eat the food, that time probably you feel some hunger. If you feel hunger, then you are trying to put some food into your mouth. Probably you do not feel hunger after a certain time. So first, you should work on the problem. In the rural areas, not many day-to-day problems are existing. Probably we all are very good in love. So we are sitting in the cities. They are very much developed. Those people are struggling many of the problem in the rural areas, where we can, from there we can take the live problem and work on these type of problem. That is the best creative problem. So first is the problem identification. After identify the problem, we have to analysis what kind of problem is this and how I can work or solve this problem. After analyzing that problem, if I'm thinking like that, what can be the idea that I can generate to resolve this problem? This thought is known as the idea generation. And when I have some idea in my mind to solve this problem, that step is known as evaluation. After evaluation, if everything is feel okay from the last 4 previous steps, I can go to the realization, that is the hardware prototype finally of the problem solution. So these are 5 important steps when we are going to be productive creativity. Now, the important factors of the creative efficiency. What are the efficiency? In general terms, we can understand the term efficiency, what we are giving, and in opponent, what we are getting back. Simple concept, efficiency. If I am giving my 100% input and I am getting 100% output, then 100% efficiency will be there. But in case of the productive corners or the creativity innovations, always inputs are much more higher than the output at the initial stage. When we are in the stage of settling down on any of the startup, we have to push hard to ourselves, and finally we'll get some creative output with the help of creative solution, that is called as research innovations. So there are some important factors that can affect the creativity and efficiency. First one is personality. Second one is age. Third one is qualification, then intelligence, then motivation, then stress, and then willingness. I will just discuss one by one how your personality will impact the creative interaction. If your personality is not too much introverted or not too much impressive, in that case, you are not going to be affect the finally society. Somehow your age matters, because if your age is not as per the parameters, means there is no fixed age according to the Indian rules of particular innovation, but the certain criteria are always set up for the innovation and the creation. Your qualification is very important. If you are a medical science student, you can create something into the medical field. If you are from the engineering background, if you are from the agriculture background, so your qualification and your background really matters for a creation or innovation. Next, motivation. That is from the last work or the literature survey. How much stress you are taking to resolve the problem for the final solution, and how much willingness you have to take the risk. एक सिंपल सेंटेंस में मैं यदि बोलूं तो हर बिजनेसमैन ये लाइन बोलता है कि आपको बिजनेस को ग्रो करने के लिए रिस्क तो लेना है. So how much willingness you have to take the risk, that is the personality you are showing, the toughness to establish your creative corner or your innovations. Now, the next and different portion is the hierarchy, the autonomy, the management style, the information, the working environment, and the uniformity of the procedures. So these are some official parameters and these are some personal parameters how you can establish a final factors of the effective corner. Innovation. What does the innovation? Only the economic implementation of an idea can be called as innovation. As I already told you, if you have some idea and you can implement that idea with a very minimal cost and that idea can serve the society, that is called as innovation. And the innovation process comprises the generation of an idea, its acceptance, its decision, its realization, and creative thinking is required, particularly during the first stage of this process. So this all about the innovation. If I am talking about the idea, a new idea is not inventively the result of creativity thinking. Actually, new means that is not means ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम दुनिया बदल देंगे, हम कुछ ऐसा क्रिएट कर देंगे जो दुनिया में आज तक नहीं हुआ हो. What we can do as an innovation, we can change a scenario from the existing market to a advanced market. That is also a definition of innovation. If we will discuss the second type of innovation, then innovation introduces any type of change performed on a process. As I already discussed with you all guys, if I am working on an existing model in a different manner, and that can be at the beginning of its irrelevant, whether this change is new as per it's introduced in a particular company for the first time. For example, we all people are working at the different places. In our own offices, if our management introduce or government introduce new policies, that is also called as a change, and change is always considered as a policy of innovation. Fine. So consequently, the successful transfer of the previously known solutions to the new application has to be considered as an innovation. As an individual, you and me can change the small things, but the small steps can do the bigger change. So this is a series of small steps that can create a logical corner. We have an idea of creation, we have an idea of innovation, innovation types, innovation changes, innovation platforms we discussed. Now we have the basic scheme of the innovation process. So the innovation process has a set of structure. It stimulates for the innovation. First, as I told you, we have to figure out what is the problem. If I'm able to figure out the identification that what exactly problem is, then definitely I can resolve that problem. If I will discuss it into the general language, why we will go to the doctor? हम रूटीन में डॉक्टर के पास क्यों जाते हैं? Because if doctor is able to figure out the exact disease, then only he is able to write the prescription of that disease. Similarly, for the innovation, if as a researcher or innovator, I am able to write any of the problem, then only I am able to resolve the problem into the solution. Yes, means if I am able to work on, I can resolve the problems. What does it mean by screening? Screening is just like over a period, I have to be figure out which 50 ideas are more important that I have to be considered and which 50 ideas I can discard. So after screening, the process of evaluation can be there. What exactly evaluation? When the 50 important ideas I can figure out, I can consider, then later on I can work on the evaluation. When the evaluation has to be done, then final decision I can make to convert it into the implementation, and finally it will convert the innovation process. How the method of idea generation can work? The methods of idea generation can be worked by splitting up into the morphological analysis, into the progressive abstraction. These two are the very technical terms that we are not going to be discussed. I will explain in the simple words what is splitting up. Whatever idea you have with you, you just segregate that idea. What is the important corner? What is the corner that I can consider later on step by step? The linking can be worked by the brainstorming. So different methods such as classical, imaginative, destructive, constructive, stop and go, and discussion 66 use my brain for implement these ideas. What kind of money resources, what kind of physical resources we need, how much manpower we require for that, how much physical space we require for that, lot many areas we have to figure thinking like that. We should start something new by our own. There is no need to be work as an employee under an employer. We become an employer. But some barriers that stops us in between. No. If it will not going to be happen in such a way that I'm thinking, might be it will be not success. That general idea we all have with us, so it stops us. Wrong categories, generalization and wrong pre-assumptions. What are the pre-assumptions? Pre-assumptions are those assumptions that we are taking or making in our mindsets before doing or performing any of the tasks. Next one is premature evaluation. If I'm talking about the premature evaluation, it's too early criticism, it's typical idea and the killers. If I'm talking about the emotional insecurity, sometimes the people who are very close to you, in your shelter, in your shell in which you are existing, it is a fear of exposing oneself. Means if I'll not get success, what the society will speak about me. That is a general and common fear that stops us to be a growing or grown-up stage. Next one is the pressure of the conformity and the cultural barriers, the working environment, and the intellectual barriers. So these are the points where we as individual, our society, our relations, everybody stop us to be take an initiative to be a innovator. What exactly brainstorming? Have you heard about the word that is brainstorming? Majorly with the 4 principles we can do the brainstorming. First one is any kind of criticism is strictly forbidden. If I will speak in Hindi, आप भूल जाइए कि दुनिया आपके लिए क्या कहती है. आप बस ये याद रखिए कि आप खुद के लिए क्या सोचते हैं. Then only you will become a successful person. Second principle, there are no limits to be imagination. आपके thought process की कोई upper limit नहीं है. How long, how high you can think. Similarly, how high you can jump. The third principle, that is quantity comes before quality. When we can generate the quality? First, we should generate the quality. Means number of 40 units are not important, but the 4 units must be of good quality that I am serving to the society. So quality is always a priority for an innovator, not the quantity. The last and most important principle, take up the ideas of others and develop them. आप जो अपने डेली में अपने सराउंडिंग्स में जो लोगों से आइडिया सुनते हैं, you should listen them and implement them. If you are able to develop something new with that ideas, it is like that कि कमल कीचड़ में से खिलते हैं. You have to figure out some good ideas from that garbage and you should work on them. For any innovation, we have a group of 3 to 5 good researchers, or not exactly 3 to 5 persons. We have a group of same likely wise mindsets. You दोस्ती उन्हीं से होती है जिनसे हमारे विचार मिलते हैं. Means if we are having the same kind of mindsets person around us, we can definitely create something new or good. So describe your problem in the company, use the questions. If we are putting the questions in the different ways, definitely we can figure out the solutions too. So use brainstorming techniques and consider the tips for modernization and visualization too. Evaluate the ideas used using the different sets. How much ideas you can generate with a group? For example, I'm a person who is from engineering background. You are a person who is from medical science. The third person is from arts background and the fourth person is from computer science background. So we all 4 are friends and having different of areas. When we merge the 4 kind of mindsets into a bucket, then the bucket must be full of the different thoughts. Then finally a figure or an image will come out with a probable solution of the concept. Next one is a social homogeneity of the group. When you will create a group, when you will work on a group, you have to be work on the social and public creativity and homogeneity. A leader always required to lead that team. Informal and pleasant atmosphere. आपकी वर्क प्लेस पे बहुत अच्छा एटमॉस्फेयर होना चाहिए, because the positive atmosphere gives you the positive vibes and the positive vibes will give you the positive outcome and mindsets. Mixed group, male and female. Do not criticize that I will not consider that male in my group, I will not consider that female in my group. You have to be focused on the work quality, not at the gender quality. Meetings, clear task, discussion, and finally the objective of your purpose. Creative meeting definitely give you a productive output, because a set of organization is always must be there. I must give you one example. जब हम घर बनाते हैं तो हम नींव को बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग करते हैं. तो जब हम इनोवेशन पे काम करते हैं तो हम सेट ऑफ रूल्स एंड मॉडर्नाइजेशन, वी हैव टू सेट अ स्ट्रक्चर. ऑन दैट स्ट्रक्चर वी हैव टू वर्क हार्ड. On that modernization structure, final outcome will come and the techniques of visualization can be figured out from there only. The creative meeting and the planning with the procedure, that is the preparation, that is the participant, infrastructure, definition and roles, definition and the time frame. If I'm talking about the preparation, simple, if I am having a birthday party at my home, then I have to prepare something. How many guests are trying to become? I have to plan a guest list. I have to decide an infrastructure. I have to decide, give a particular role that you have to do this, and finally a time frame on which venue we are going to organize. Similarly, in the field of innovation, in the research, in the creativity, we have to prepare the set of ideas. How many of your companions are going to be contribute? What type of structure, infrastructure you require? Laptop, table, you need a broadband, you need an internet facility, you need the water facility. Means what kind of infrastructure you require? You have to allot the fixed set of roles to every person. Then only you can be win by that, and the definition of the time frame also. So the creativity meeting and evaluation and continuation. So what kind of discussion I have done in my past, how much I must evaluate, how much I discussed with the persons, what kind of definitions of the next meeting that I have to set up of, what small setup of possible rules I have to decide, then to take note of everything, then point out of everything. The most important thing is that the possible solution that can be created via the evaluation and the continuation. We used to heard with our parents that consistency always must to win the goal. If I have to decide a goal for my journey, then the small steps with the consistency are always required in the field of innovation. So the new and creative CP options, I have to apply a CP methodology. Some questions I always have to ask, that brainstorming with the staff and team, and adapt the CP options for creative corners always. How I can do the technical evaluation? Always try to work out the influence on the product quality. Simply, if I'm talking about for the innovations, what type of quality is not good, then there is no mean of the product quality. Then influence on the productivity, material and the consumption, energy consumption, influence in the maintenance, safety and the flexibility. It is as simple as we are settling up the infrastructure for it, for our homes. If I want to settle down a space for my innovation corner, then I have to decide a budget as well as the total expenditure accommodating with the manpower. At the same time, how much supported environmental evaluation? Because, for example, nowadays it is too hot with the environment. If I am saying to anybody that in the mid-afternoon by 2 p.m. you have to go there for this task, it is bit tough for that person. But it is as much as easy in the winter conditions. So environmental evaluation is also required before starting any of the project, whether the environmental conditions of that projects are supporting or not supporting in that period. Economic evaluation is the main part that we cannot forget while the evaluation and the creativity, that how much money we have to invest, and with this investment, how much money we can turn out for running business. So innovation is all about the payback period. Means if I'm giving my 1 lakh rupees in the year of 2026, by the year of 2029, how much money it will return back in terms of output of this startup. So other financial probability calculations must be there. All effects, cost factors must be included. So these are few points that I have discussed related to the innovation. If I personally discussed something related to the innovation, we have our AICT funded Idea Lab. All of you are free to visit in our institute. Presently, I am associated as a research and development head in the Purnima Institute of Engineering and Technology, Jaipur. We have created many kind of live projects that can serve the society in many of the senses. If you wish to visit, we can be associated for good project hardwares. For patents, we have more than 64 patents with our students and innovations with this cell. So I am very happy to be associated with you. This is all done from my end. If you have any query, any doubt related to this, then please
Thank you,
can
madam.
ask.
Thank you so much for nice presentation. Thank you so much. Now the session is open to all. So please, any query, any question, any observation related to today's.
Kamlesh, I can see 2 hands being raised by the learners. But before that, I would like to invite my colleague, regional directors, to just give their remarks. RD Jodhpur, Ahmedabad, Rajkot.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I speak, madam?
Yes, yes, please. Sir.
Yes, yes, welcome.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank Mamta Madam for inviting us for such a wonderful session, and then Dr. Payal Bansal for such a wonderful presentation. Uh, what I would like to say that basically I am from arts background, from literature background, so I really not very much familiar with technology and technocracy rather. But what I felt or what I feel that innovation and creativity, especially creativity, is in nowadays in discourse, the creativity is actually limited to technology. It is not discussed. It is not discussed in the artistic fields. That how artists are developing their creativity, how they are using their creativity. I'll just give you an example. In literature, like in subaltern literature, we see the people belonging to third world, the European literature, the colonial literature, used to call them the other. So now in the translation field, how that other should be translated for a female other, that could make the translator in translation, that could make the female visible. If it is translated as anya, then we are not able to identify whether that anya is male or female. So one of the translator, she is a very good scholar in translation studies, Rita Kothari madam. She used, I mean, here I see creativity. She used, instead of anya, she used the word anya.
Okay.
So in Indian societies, especially in we see that in Indian society, very the name of females, they are almost ending in long vowels. So like I mean, you can take any name like your long vowels, or let's say liquid consonants, which are L, M, and N. So what I want to say, that creativity, whenever someone delivers lecture, that creativity is seen through the optic of technology. So we as you know, teachers belonging from arts field, we feel like, come on, creativity is also our domain. So, but it was very good lecture, ma'am. I'm very much. I mean, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to tell something related to your query. Means it is a journal mindset that we cannot do anything creative with the arts field. Actually, if anybody related to the arts field, we can apply the AI with the arts, so the different multidisciplinary field can be associated with each other.
True. Yes.
So means I personally welcome all of you. When you will visit to Jaipur, you please come to my Idea Lab. I'll show you that I just make a blind street to the blind people. So if on a particular distance, if any obstacle will come, they'll get a siren so that they will not strike with that. We are trying to make such type of live projects. So we are welcome to visit to Jaipur. If you wish to come to Purnima, I'm always open for that.
It's a great service to human society. Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
नमस्कार, मैं डॉक्टर रूपल कुपावत, रीजनल सेंटर राजकोट से। मैडम, आपका जो लेक्चर है बहुत ही इंफॉर्मेटिव और इंटरेस्टिंग रहा, और खास करके जो आपने मतलब कि छोटे छोटे पायदानों से शुरू किया, छोटे एग्जाम्स पर से शुरू किया कि हम क्रिएटिविटी किसे बोल सकते हैं, किसे कह सकते हैं, वो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग रहा। क्योंकि ज्यादातर हम बड़ा बड़ा ही सोचते हैं, छोटी छोटे चीजों को, छोटी छोटी बातों को हम नजरअंदाज करते हैं। तो ये बहुत ही आपका अच्छा और एक आपका भी क्रिएटिव प्रेजेंटेशन रहा। और खास करके मैं भी आर्ट्स एंड एजुकेशन फील्ड से हूँ, तो बट मैं मानती हूँ कि सब जगह क्रिएटिविटी इज पॉसिबल। जैसे आर्ट्स में आप जी, जैसे मैम हम पोएम लिखते हैं या फिर हम ऐसे लिखते हैं, दिस इज ऑल्सो ए क्रिएटिविटी, बिकॉज विदाउट क्रिएटिविटी नॉट पॉसिबल एनी क्रिएशन। तो जो भी क्रिएशन है वो सब क्रिएटिविटी है। तो बहुत बहुत आपका जो स्पीच है वो बहुत ही मीनिंगफुल रहा, और हम सब जो हैं आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई देते हैं मैडम। हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को भी बहुत ही अच्छा आज उनको एक न्यू नॉलेज मिला होगा क्रिएटिविटी के भी बारे में। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम, नमस्कार।
Thank you. My one quote to all the presenters over here. Personally, आपने poems की बात की, मैं articles और poems लिखती हूँ न्यूज़पेपर के लिए। उगता हुआ सूरज डूबता जरूर है, वक्त कैसा भी हो बदलता जरूर है, बस अपनी कोशिशों को यूं ही कायम रखना, क्योंकि हर आसमान का बुलंदा बदलता जरूर है।
वाह वाह, बहुत बढ़िया बहुत बढ़िया।
तो मींस हम लोग कैसे भी है, किसी भी फील्ड से है, ईश्वर ने आपको जैसा बनाया है, आई रिक्वेस्ट टू एवरीवन कि हम जैसे हैं, हमें ईश्वर ने किसी ना किसी क्रिएटिविटी के साथ जमीन पे भेजा है। एवरीवन हैज हिज ओन स्किल्स एंड डिजायर्ड ऑन दिस अर्थ, सो डू नॉट कंपेयर योरसेल्फ, योर किड्स, योर रिलेटिव्स विद एवरीवन। जनरली पेरेंट्स की आदत होती है, उस बच्चे के इतने परसेंटेज आए, तुम अच्छा नहीं करते हो, तुम बैठते नहीं हो। एज ए मदर, मेरे दोनों बच्चे यदि आपस में बराबर नहीं हो सकते, हाउ कैन आई कंपेयर माई किड्स विद एनी अदर? बिकॉज ईश्वर की जो रचना है वो सारी अलग है, इसीलिए दुनिया इतनी बड़ी है। So you all please try to do something creative with the small steps. If you need any help from my side, I am always open to for any collaboration anytime.
Thank you very much ma'am.
It's a real pleasure मैम, आपके साथ इंटरेक्ट करके हम लोगों को बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है। और जैसे कि आपने बताया कि जो आपने छोटे छोटे स्टेप्स बताए, जो रूल्स भी बताए कि क्रिटिसिज्म पे ध्यान नहीं देना है, और लोग मतलब कहते भी है ना कि सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग, तो उस पर ध्यान नहीं दे के अपने स्टेप्स आगे बढ़ाने हैं। तो वाकई में ये हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के लिए आज न केवल क्रिएटिविटी और इनोवेशन पर बात है, लेकिन उनके लिए एक मोटिवेटिंग स्पीच भी रही होगी जरूर, और हमारे सारे ही लर्नर्स इससे जरूर बेनिफिट होंगे। एक दो स्टूडेंट्स थे जिन्होंने हैंड रेज किया था। बिफोर आई कॉल डॉक्टर जयेश पटेल फ्रॉम अहमदाबाद, रीजनल डायरेक्टर ऑफ अहमदाबाद, for the final vote of thanks. There were two students who had raised their hands earlier.
एक स्टूडेंट है विनोद, आपने कुछ पूछना चाह रहे थे, प्लीज यू कैन आस्क एनी क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू किसी भी स्टूडेंट्स को, किसी भी इग्नू लर्नर्स को आज के डिस्कशन के रिगार्डिंग कुछ पूछना है तो प्लीज वेलकम।
बेटा, आप लोगों को कभी भी ऐसा लगे कि you have some good ideas and you want to convert these ideas into reality with the machine and research lab, I personally open to everyone. Kamlesh Meena sir have my mail ID, my contact number. You can anytime approach me. I am very happy to collaborate with you all.
We'll surely, ma'am, circulate this information with the learners, and we'll also plan a visit to your center with the learners in near
Sure,
future.
ma'am. Sure, anytime.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, Dr. Jayesh Patel from Ahmedabad Regional Center.
सभी को नमस्कार। It was really a wonderful lecture. You have drawn attention of all of us on a thin line of creativity and innovation. Not only that, you also showed us the way to evaluate the innovation also. So how we can have the innovation, what should be the evaluation criteria for that. So it was a wonderful lecture of your, and not only that, it was showing a clear your knowledge about this innovation and creativity, as well as your ideas were very clear. Thank you very much for sparing your time and just sharing your ideas and knowledge with all of us. So Payal madam, we are thankful to you on behalf of IGNOU and this 4 cluster of regional centers, Jaipur, Jodhpur, Ahmedabad and Rajkot. Along with that, we are thankful to our authorities at IGNOU headquarters, Director NCIDE, and our Senior Regional Director, Madam Mamta Bhatia. Not only that, we are thankful to the staff of Regional Center Jaipur who have done their job to collaborate with these RCs as well as the students and contacting you for this lecture on creativity and innovation. Along with that, we are thankful to the Regional Director, Regional Center Jodhpur, Regional Center Rajkot, and other staff of these regional centers. Not only that, we are thankful to other students who have joined this program on this innovation and creativity. It was really a wonderful to have you here for this lecture on this creative webinar on creativity and innovation. And with this, I just put a full stop on this one, and thank you very much, one and all. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaskar and thank you everyone.
Let's switch on our cameras for a group photo. Kuldeep? Maximum. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Kamlesh sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.